making a clean local community together. Recorder player Kim Yong-hyun. Ceramic flowers created by senior citizens. A chef inspired by Korean cuisine. People in relocation area dream again. Hello, welcome to Going Global. I'm your host, Chung Se-mi. One of the most internationally renowned South Koreans is Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations. Recently, he was honored with the Tipperary International Peace Award. The award was set up in 1983 to recognize people who promote the ideals of peace in the world and for their humanitarian work. Ban Ki-moon was honored for his role in tackling climate change, global conflict, and natural disasters as the UN Secretary General. Hopefully, we'll be able to see more Koreans like Ban Ki-moon in the future who contribute to global development. And here's our first story of the day. Marina Beach in Chennai city is one of the most popular tourist attractions in India. But not far away is a fishing village that's suffering from poverty and heaps of garbage. Recently, a group of Koreans living in Chennai made a visit to the village to help them clean up the environment. Let's take a look.
A beautiful sunset fills the Marina Beach, the world's second longest beach spanning 12 kilometers. But it's a little different in the nearby fishing village. Broken fishing gears and heaps of garbage cause a stench. People have stopped coming to this village due to the high crime rate and poverty. But Koreans living in Chennai city made a special visit.
범죄 및 주변 정화 그리고 더 좋은 마을을 만들기 위해서 열악한 지역을 찾게 됐습니다.
People started picking up garbage from the end of the Marina Beach that leads to the fishing village. Despite the hot weather with the temperature exceeding 30 degrees Celsius, about 400 overseas Koreans gathered to clean up the village. They cleaned up more than 3,000 kilograms of garbage at the end of the day.
சுத்தம் சோறு போடும் என்பது போல நாமும் நம்மை சுற்றியுள்ள இடங்களும் சுத்தமாக இருந்தால் நன்றாக இருக்கும் என்று கருத்திலே கொண்டு இன்றைக்கு பாரத பிரதமர் அவர்கள் கூட இந்த கொரியன் சங்க அசோசியேஷன் சார்ந்தவர்கள் இன்றைக்கு தூய்மைப்படுத்துகின்ற ஒரு திட்டத்திலே இன்றைக்கு கடற்கரையிலே சுத்தப்படுத்த வந்திருக்கின்றார்கள்.
In order to prevent drowning accidents that are increasing every year, the Korean Association in Chennai put up a no swimming sign at the entrance to the beach. The association also delivered shoes and daily necessities to the village residents who cannot afford them.
해변 정화 활동뿐만 아니라 이런 저희가 지역 사회에 봉사할 수 있는 활동을 계속해서 개발해서 해 나갈 계획입니다.
With their efforts to help out the local village, the Korean community in Chennai is building a closer and deeper friendship with the local residents.
We hope to see Koreans and local residents living in Chennai continue to build a closer and stronger relationship. And here's our next story. Do you remember playing the recorder in music class at school? This familiar instrument actually has a long history among all woodwind musical instruments. And a Korean recorder player living in Auckland, New Zealand, is introducing the beautiful sounds of early music that existed more than 500 years ago. Let's meet Mr. Kim Yong-hyun.
The low tone of a bass recorder fills the stage. The sounds of the viola and flute join in, and a groovy jazz performance begins. The three instruments improvised at a music festival held in Auckland.
It just all blended in together and formed this really impressive and big acoustic wave almost. You know, very cool, very imaginative. And
the performance was arranged by recorder player Kim Yong-hyun. Having majored in music of the Renaissance and the Baroque eras, Kim chose a recorder to perform early music and introduce it to people. Up until the 1750s, recorders were the most common instruments for solos and ensembles.
아이들 악기구나 이제 플라스틱 시끄러운 악기로 많이 생각을 하셔서 개인적으로는 그게 가장 힘들긴 한데요. 또 반대로 또 이제 제 연주를 와서 봐주시는 분들은 너무 좋아들 하시고.
In 2007, Kim went to further his studies in the Netherlands. During his 5 years of studying, he fell in love with the recorder. The early music boom that began in the late 1990s in Europe had a big impact in the Netherlands, as every music college had a department for recorders.
아직까지 한국이나 뉴질랜드에서는 생소한 면이 없지는 않은데 이제 유럽에서는 아주 크게 알려져서 잘 많은 연주 활동들과 공부를 할 수 있는 조건들이 좋고요.
In New Zealand, there are only 4 professional recorder players. As Kim serves as the president of a recorder society there, he is taking the lead in introducing the recorder as well as early music to more people. He is also finding ways to fuse modern music, for instance, collaborating with fellow musicians who play electronic instruments.
I really love Kevin's ability to get up and get stuck in a performance and really deliver and play out in amongst the audience, and I love the energy that he brings to his playing and the sense of communication.
The early music boom sprang from the rejection of fancy classical music. Musical instruments and techniques of the ancient times were revived. Thanks to Kim Yong-hyun's efforts, more and more people in New Zealand are beginning to learn about the pure and beautiful sounds of early music.
Not only as a professional musician, but also as president of a recorder society, Mr. Kim is taking the lead in introducing the recorder and early music to the public. Now, moving on to our next story, passion for creativity. It's something that age cannot take away from people. In Israel, senior citizens were given a chance to create their own artwork and participate in a special exhibition. Let's take a look.
Beautiful, colorful flowers cover the green fields. From sunflowers to callas and tulips. These flowers look real, but they are all made of ceramic.
אני חושבת שזה מקסים. הרעיון הוא גדול. בעיניי זה מאוד יפה שאני אפילו חושבת לעשות לי לבית פינה קטנה כזאת.
The artists who transformed the museum garden into a beautiful ceramic flower exhibition are all over the age of 65. About 1,700 senior citizens living in Israel participated in the project. They made more than 11,000 ceramic flowers. A year was spent just in preparations, as the exhibition was a big and a unique one.
וכשהלכנו שם לראות איך זה מסודר, זה פשוט עשינו וואו. ממש, זה עבודה כזאת שלא תיארנו לעצמנו שאנחנו מסוגלות.
The project was led by an artist who wanted to encourage the creative talents of senior citizens. About 70 cultural centers provided location for the seniors to make their artwork.
הם אנשים שמחים, הם אנשים אופטימיים, הם אנשים שיודעים לעשות דברים שאנחנו אפילו עוד לא יודעים לעשות.
The passion and the spirit of the elderly bloomed into beautiful flowers in Israel.
Now, in Belgium, a country far away from Korea, there is a famous restaurant that bears the traces of Korea. The chef of the restaurant is known to be a Korean-born adoptee, and his special dishes are not only capturing the tastes of Belgians, but also people from around the world. Let's take a look.
This is Namur, a quiet city about 40 minutes away from Brussels by car. A big restaurant can be seen at a glance. L'air du temps, or the scent of time. The restaurant sign looks like the Korean alphabet, Shield. Unlike the quiet atmosphere outside the restaurant, the kitchen is loud and busy preparing to greet customers for dinner. The restaurant offers Belgian and French-style dishes for their main course menu. From lamb to truffles, high-quality ingredients are reborn into a piece of art on each plate. The cost for a full course is over 300,000 Korean won, but reservations are always full.
The menu in the beginning, you don't know what you will eat during the meal, and it's surprise, it's fresh.
The owner of the restaurant is Chef Sang-hoon Dejembre, a Korean-born adoptee. He was adopted into a Belgian family at the age of 5. Before becoming a chef, he worked as a sommelier. He opened his restaurant, L'Air du Temps, 18 years ago. And in just 3 years, the restaurant received its first star in the Michelin Guide, one of the world's most recognized dining guides. It received the second Michelin star 6 years ago, the first among European restaurants owned by chefs of Korean descent to do that.
And I try to keep some emotion from my customer too. And this mixture gave my personal style.
Behind the restaurant, there's a huge garden where Chef Sang-hoon keeps his cooking secrets. He grows fresh vegetables and herbs there, all organically, keeping in step with seasonal changes. He picks just as much as he needs each time. When they are added to his signature recipes, the taste of nature bursts on the plate.
Really, somebody who's really creative. He's open to every influence. If he likes something, he will use it.
After his visit to Korea as a Korean food goodwill ambassador in 2009, he made some changes to his recipes. He mixed Korean cuisine into his dishes by using traditional Korean sauces. He also developed a salad menu using white kimchi.
My mother country let me go to taste Korean food. I imagine to have a globalization of Korean food everywhere in the world.
Chef Sang-hoon says that as he learned more about Korean traditional sauces, he was able to bring innovative changes to his dishes. To share with the world his old specialized signature dishes, just like the aged soybean paste, doenjang, Chef Sang-hoon continues to develop new recipes using Korean ingredients.
Our next story is from the Philippines. In a relocation site in 산호세의 Del Monte City, a special place has brought hopes to the residents. How did it help people there dream and nurture hopes again? Let's take a look.
This is the city of Sanhose's Del Monte, about 40 kilometers northeast of Manila. About 50,000 people who were forced to evacuate their homes due to natural disasters and redevelopment plans live on a relocation site in the city called Towerville. The village has slate-roofed houses closely attached to each other with inadequate electricity and water supply. But the residents here have smiles on their faces. It was something that was hard to imagine just 4 years ago. People saw hope after a sewing center was established in the village. The brand name is Ikting, the Tagalog word for ignite. The center is filled with the sounds of sewing machines. The workers are making aprons, pockets, and t-shirts ordered by a fast food giant.
Hanggang ngayon, nandito ako at masaya ako na nandito ako dahil nakakatulong na ito sa aming pamilya.
The Camp Towerville Sewing Center was jointly established by a Korean NGO and the Korea International Cooperation Agency, or KOICA. About 80 women who had never received education in their lives got their first jobs here. What stands out the most about the sewing center is that it pursues a cooperative system where anybody can become a leader. Under the main leader selected through an election, all workers gather at a monthly meeting to discuss and decide payment standards and center rules.
Patuloy po kaming nagpa-production. Mayroon po kaming marketing team na tinatawag. So yung marketing team po namin, siya po yung maghahanap. Meron po kaming head ng marketing at siya po yung isa na naghahanap ng mga kliyente.
Orders are usually made by schools or large companies. The center already has around 4,300 group uniforms to finish in the first half of the year. Profits are used for labor costs, but about half is saved for the center's operations. There are a total of 3 cooperative workplaces like the sewing center in Towerville, including places for baking breads and making braziers. The Korean NGO plays a role as a cooperator, not an employer. They are providing opportunities for the people to stand on their own.
무엇이 과연 그들 스스로 지속 가능하게 하는 건가 그렇게 생각을 하다가 모든 문제를 해결할 수 있는 건 일자리. 그 집안에 누군가가 고정적인 인컴을 받으면 먹는 것도 해결되고 공부시키는 것도 해결되고 그래서 저희는 일자리 중심으로 이제 사업들을 계속 진행을 해왔습니다.
An education facility was also established 2 years ago for children and the youth in Towerville. The library here is always bustling with children reading books and studying. Adults are learning sewing or computer skills and training classes, hoping to get a job.
This could become a model of development, a model of community development that will have a big impact in our country.
The Korean NGO plans to hand over all of their management and business rights to the residents in the near future. The Camp Towerville Sewing Center is helping people to dream again and to stand up for themselves. It's bringing new hope to the people who once lived in poverty after being forced out of their homes.
I hope you enjoyed the stories we shared today on Going Global. In Nepal, where a huge earthquake struck the country more than a month ago, the aftermath continues. Most recently, thousands had to evacuate their homes due to a massive landslide. The landslide occurred at Monte village, about 140 kilometers northwest of the capital Kathmandu, and it created a dam 2 kilometers long when the Kaligandaki River got blocked. Things are likely to get tougher as the monsoon season approaches. Let's keep Nepal in our thoughts and prayers. Going Global will be back next week with more fascinating and exciting stories. Thank you for watching.